Welcome to this page. Listen, I want to take you on a journey, so get in my car. I want to share with you where I started my business, how I took off, and then how I fell 1.7 million in debt, and how I climbed back. We're going to go through all the major areas, so come on, join me right now. All right, I want you to hop in as well. Let's go on for a ride. All right, so you're in. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick drive. The first place I wanna take you to is literally where it all started, all right? Tons of really cool things to learn here, so get ready for the ride. I'll see you in a second. All right, so here's what we're doing. We're driving right now, okay? We are going to the university where I went to school. Now let me tell you something. Over there, I'm going to tell you the story about how nothing I learned at this university contributed to my success. As a matter of fact, in this book, I share with you the greatest things I've learned about succeeding as an entrepreneur. If you look at the back of this book right here, there's a triangle. I call it the escape triangle. We're going to walk through that, but you know, my entire journey and how I started my business with $100 started at this university. So I want to walk you there. I want to take you, I want to show you the dorm room where it all started. And after that, I'll tell you about how it all led to millions of dollars and then how I fell 1.7 million in debt. I gotta get back to driving, all right? So let me just get there real quick and we'll tune right back in, so give me a second. All right, here we are. So we are actually at the university where I went to school. Now you might be thinking that I'm gonna say all of my entrepreneurial success is thanks to that college right there. It isn't, okay? Now I'm not bashing the school system. Look, I loved being here. I learned a lot. But let me show you where the real magic happened. You ready? All right, let's spin this camera around. All right, you see that? That's the building. Now, this right here, you see that? That's the actual apartment that I lived in. So yes, I learned things at this university. That's true. But this isn't where entrepreneurs don't go to class, sit there, and then become wealthy. All right, they actually go and apply. So you see that room right there? That's where I sat and applied what I learned. Listen, if you want to become a successful entrepreneur, right here in this book, okay, chapter 1 alone, I walk you through my entire story. If I can hold the book. Chapter 1 right here, I literally show you how I went from a broke college kid going to the classes right there to literally in an apartment with a broken laptop building an entire business. Now this business started in that dorm room, but now where I want to take you, okay, I want to get back in the car and I want to drive you to where it scaled, where my business began to scale. All right, you ready? Now in the meantime, if you're excited, you can go ahead and get your free copy of this book because I'll show you all of what it takes to become a successful entrepreneur. But if you want to keep on the journey with me, give me a second here. Let me get back in the car. We're gonna drive to a really special place. I'll see you in the car. All right, we're back in the car. Now, here's where we're driving. I'm gonna take you to my parents' house. This is literally where I started my multi-million-dollar empire. So, just to recap, right? Look, the lessons you get from college are great, but they alone are not enough to become incredibly successful. You gotta put the hustle in. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to my house. I'm gonna show you exactly where my entire, real success began. So I gotta get back to the road here. Give me a second, and then in the video, you're gonna see it change, and we'll be at my parents' house, all right? I'll show you the house in just a second. All right, so we've reached my parents' home. Now listen, this is literally, I sat in the basement of this house and I scaled my company to up-teenth limits. All right, I almost wish I had stayed in this house because what comes after I left this house was a lot of trouble. But this is where I learned some of the fundamentals of business. Now, before I walk in and show you the actual basement where I did it, I want to tell you a little bit about this book, like why I wrote this book. Because as we walk into the basement in this home, you're gonna see that this is the place I learned the core concepts of becoming a successful entrepreneur. But I had to do it through hardships, through failure, through blood and sweat. Because no one was there to teach me. I wish someone handed this book to me 15 years ago so that I could have learned what it takes to become a successful entrepreneur. There's literally a 4-stage process, S, C, A, and P. And I wanna show you that. And we're gonna talk more about this book. But for now, what I wanna do is I wanna invite you into my parents' house. I want to invite you to the basement where I started my first business. So come on in. Here we go. And this is where the basement is, right here. Come on down. And here we are in my parents' basement. You know what? When I started my business, I literally had a laptop like this and a mouse, and that was it. This is literally the setup in this very place where I took my little budding online business and I blew it up and I grew it. This is where I hired my first team member to come help me. But the truth is, I had no idea what I was doing. As many entrepreneurs, as maybe even you right now feel, you just don't have all the pieces together, right? So that's why I wrote this book. I wrote this book because it's been 15 years for me. I've generated tens and tens of millions of dollars online. I've helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students do it. I've actually trained over 250,000 people worldwide. So I've come up with what I say is the formula to becoming an entrepreneur, the 4 stages, right? How to go from employee to entrepreneur in the 4 stages. I developed this because when I was here alone in this corner in the dungeons, right, trying to figure out how to do it myself, I was struggling. It was painful. It hurt. But I still did it. I put the work in. I don't want you to have to go through that hurt. See, here's what happened now, because now we're about to move into the dark side of my story. So this was all good. This was fun, okay? I was learning how to do it. I was building it up. I was making good money. I graduated college and I was doing better than all my friends probably put together. But now it was when I decided I want to go big. I want to go to the next level. And that was when I did the next big move. And so I want to take you to the next location. And this is where not only did my business boom, but it came crashing down. I'm going to take you next to the place where I fell $1.7 million in debt. Just think about that. Before I turned 28, I fell $1.7 million in debt. We're going to go over there now. I'm going to show you the place. I'm going to show you where I was and the biggest lessons I learned from that and how you can avoid that. But right now I'm telling you, on this page, you have a chance to get yourself a free copy of this book. And if you're not taking me up on that, you're not serious about becoming an entrepreneur. Unless you want to go through the pain that I'm about to walk you through, that I went through. And I'm telling you, you don't want to go through that pain. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to get to the next location where I had the boom and the doom, all right? But I'm tired of driving. It's exhausting, so we're going to try something new. We are going to teleport. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Wish we could do that in real life, right? Okay, so here's where we are. Now you'll see right there. You see that corner? That used to be my office. Ah, man, I haven't been back here in a long time. That is where I fell $1.7 million in debt. Let me ask you something. Can you imagine being 27, almost 28 years old? My parents had to take a second mortgage on that beautiful home that we had just been to just to help me out. My closest friends gave me their life savings. I owed Visa, MasterCard, American Express, my local bank. I owed everybody money. It was literally the toughest time in my life. And you know what? If I didn't have the key things that I teach you here in this book, if I didn't have them as part of who I am, right? If I didn't have that, I was never gonna make it. Listen, I wanna tell you that what happened here and that debt that I fell into, it wasn't just money, it wasn't just stress. It led to a complete debacle in every part of my life. Literally, I started drinking. I almost became an alcoholic. I nearly died a couple of times, just from health issues. We're gonna talk about that in the next portion of this video. And my relationships fell apart. See, when you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to make it, you're trying to do something that other people don't understand. Other people don't get. Other people don't even know why you're doing it. Why would I deal with $1.7 million in debt, right? And how dare I actually try to come out of that? Again, you wanna know why I wrote this book? You wanna know why I'm giving this book away for free? Because I've been in places like this, in situations where my life, I wish it would have come to an end almost at that time. But you know what? I fought through it because there's things in here that I had mastered and I want to help you master them. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep talking about this. We're going to keep talking about my journey. What I want to do next is take you to the place where I met who I am. In this place, I literally was put to the test of the test of the test. And I had to determine whether I was going to succeed as an entrepreneur or not. And what I learned in the next place that we're about to go to was what led to the writing of this very book that you can get for free on this page if you just fill in the form. I'll send it to you anywhere in the world. All right? So there you go. You're seeing it right now. This was where it all kind of boomed and then where it all collapsed. But again, now we're going to go to the next location where I learned the biggest, deepest lessons of my life. And I'll walk you through some of those. But we're not gonna drive there, right? Because we found better ways to do it. So we're just gonna walk there. You ready? Let's do it. All right. So, see that right there? That's where I landed up. That is where I learned some of the hardest lessons of my life because I got so ill from the stress, from all the bad things I was doing because of the debt, that I started having massive internal bleeding. Now, let me tell you something. I was in this ER for months. I was in the ICU for months. I was at a place and a point in my life where I was getting 3 pints of blood a day to stay alive. And I got to the point where I had to lay flat. And if I so much as sat up even a little bit, my heart rate would spike to 160, 165. And I remember hearing the doctor tell me, hey, lay down, otherwise your heart may explode. Now, why am I telling you this dramatic story, and what does that have to do with entrepreneurship? Because while I was in this ICU right here, you know what? I was still building my business. I was still working hard. I was still trying to fight for my dreams. Now, you've got to ask yourself, what does it take to do that? Do you fight that hard for your dreams? That when you might be on your deathbed, but you're saying, I'm still alive, I'm still breathing, so I'm still fighting. You know, there are some core lessons to learn as an entrepreneur. I'll tell you right now, you could be running a bakery down the street, a laundromat, or you could be running an online business, you could be a consultant, you could be an MLM person. It doesn't matter. There are core things you need as an entrepreneur, and that is, again, I keep pointing back to this book for a reason. Listen, in these 4 stages, self, catapult, authority, people, lives the secrets to becoming a successful entrepreneur. I put this book together because I had to learn things the hard way. I don't want you to have to go through the things I had to go through. So right now, what I'm asking you to do is just get this book for free. It's free. All you have to do is fill in the little form, pay a little tiny shipping and handling, all right? And you're not gonna have to be like me coming in on an ambulance because life has gotten so tough. You're not gonna have to quit on your dreams. See, what I learned in the writing of this book alone is that entrepreneurs are different. We think different, we act different, we are different. That's the truth. We think different, we act different, we are different. It's not about what you know, it's not about who you know, it's who you are. And that's where I want to get you. So right on this page, you know what, scroll below. Here's something you're gonna see, okay? Right below this video, you see an endorsement by Daymond John. He wrote the foreword. From Shark Tank, Daymond John wrote the foreword to this book for a reason. Listen, what it takes to succeed as an entrepreneur, it's a lot deeper than they ever teach us in the school system. I want to teach it to you right here in this book. I want to give this to you for free. A tiny shipping and handling. I'll ship it anywhere in the world, but we're not done on our tour yet. Listen, I fell 1.7 million in debt. Life got really hard, nearly died multiple times. Yet still today, I made it. I made it. I was able to use the concepts I teach in this book, and today I'm living the life of my dreams. Literally, there's nothing more I could ask for from my life other than for you to get a copy of this book in your hands. So what I want to do now is I want to take you to a dream of mine that was around. I had this dream for years, and it came true, and I want you to join me as we go there. I want you to walk into the building with me, and I want to show you what we're doing for entrepreneurs, what I'm doing for entrepreneurs like yourself, and why this book and giving this book to you for free is just a start. It's just literally a start. So I want to do something here. I'm going to walk back out, and when I walk back into that frame, I'm going to show you the dream that I had and how it can change your life. You ready? Let's do it. All right, listen, I'm excited about this part because this is where the story, it's not even over yet, but come on in here. Let me show you my dream, all right? Welcome to the Learn Center. We built a 26,000 square foot facility all for entrepreneurs for you. This is why I want to give this book to you right here, okay? This is why I want to give this book to you for free. On this page, look right now. Listen, let me first tell you something, okay? Dreams do happen, but you've got to be ready to put an actionable plan in place. That's what these 4 stages are: self, catapult, authority, people. Now, I'm going to ask you something, and I want you to honestly answer it. You ready? Daymond John from Shark Tank wrote the foreword. Robert Kiyosaki, Les Brown, Bob Proctor, Kevin Harrington, and hundreds of students have endorsed this book and have said, you know what, Anik, you figured it out. You got it. So let me ask you something. Could they all be wrong? Do you need this book? I think so. Look, right here, I give you something called the Escape Triangle. This is literally the stages that you use, the stages you go up to become a successful entrepreneur. It took me 15 years I've been doing this. It took me 3 years of research to write this book, but I've done it now. And I want to challenge you to literally invest a tiny, tiny, tiny amount. Just look right below, read. Tiny amount in shipping and handling. I don't care where you are in the world. I'll pay for the rest of it. If this book costs me more, if the shipping costs more than what you contribute, I'll cover it. I'll pay it, all right? So here's the deal. This is the book. Get it right now. Seriously, get this book right now. All right, first of all, it's a tiny shipping and handling, all right? This experience, I'm telling you, I don't care what kind of business you run, this is the breakthrough you've been looking for. So here's what's gonna happen. If for any reason you don't love this book, if you don't think that this book is everything you thought it was gonna be, I'll refund you the shipping. You can keep the book, you don't have to send it back. So right now, all I want you to do is read below. If you want to learn more, read below about this book and then put your order in. And for a limited time, we've added amazing bonuses also. Here's the deal. Depending on where you are in the world, it might take me a couple of weeks to get this book in your hands. That's not in my control, whatever the postal system does, right? 2 or 3 weeks. But you don't have to wait that long because right now I'm offering you an absolutely free bonus. I'll give you free, full online access immediately. Right now, you can start reading this book online. So all you need to do right now is go ahead, read below, get informed, fill in this little form you see, and get this book. Let me ship it to you absolutely. I'll pay for everything. You just cover the shipping. That's all. This is Anik Singhal. Thank you for going on this journey with me. It's been absolutely amazing to share my life with you, to share all the key places that have made a big difference in my life. But I'll tell you right now, if you want to know what it takes to succeed, if you want the culmination of all of that success, it's right here in this book. The book is free. I just want you to cover the shipping. That's all right now. Go ahead, read below, look at the videos, look at what all of the top entrepreneurs in the world are saying. They are saying, I figured it out. I decoded what it takes. This is Anik Singhal reminding you, when life pushes you, stand straight, smile, and push it the heck back. Scroll below, read up, but get this book. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Okay? Talk to you soon.